What to do about podcast copying, including the one question that you really need to ask yourself before you even figure out what you're going to do about it. I'm Maria Spear-Allis, lawyer for content creators, and this is the Spear IP Show. So here's the thing. If somebody's copying you, there are a few things that you can do. But there's one question that you really need to ask yourself before you figure out which of those things is the best for you. I'll tell you about it in 1 second. So here are some of the options when you are a victim of podcast copying. First, you can contact the infringer directly. You would be so surprised at the lack of copyright or any IP knowledge that people have. Some people just don't know that what they did was wrong. So a lot of times this option works if you are comfortable reaching out to the person directly and telling them, hey, here's what you did, here's what I own, please stop or take it down. You can also submit a DMCA takedown request. What? You see a DMCA takedown on sites like Facebook and YouTube and blah, blah, blah. But basically it's like a copyright infringement takedown where you fill out a form and say what was copied, but it's that form that allows you to report copyright infringement. You can always lawyer up. The next option is consulting with a lawyer to maybe send a cease and desist letter, or maybe if it's a really intense situation, depending on what's going on, file a lawsuit. And then you might do nothing. If you think you might do nothing, I would say at least talk to a lawyer to make sure you're not giving up your rights to anything if you really want to do nothing. Okay, so I told you there's one thing that you need to figure out before you take any of these steps. That one thing, you need to figure out what was it that was copied. Was it your podcast's general theme? Guess what? That might not be infringement. Same thing with the theme of an episode or subject matter of an episode. But essentially, think about the number of television shows about doctors. A general idea or a general topic, as it might apply to podcasts, is not really protectable under copyright law. Now, did they take your script? Did they take your words and just basically repeat them? That's a little bit different. Did they use the same guest that you used? Again, that's probably not a situation where there is infringement going on, unless you had some kind of exclusivity agreement with the guest where the guest agreed that they would be, your exclusive guest, maybe for a certain amount of time. Then your issue is with the guest, maybe not so much the podcast. Podcast art, totally legit. Art, graphic design, photography, those things are absolutely protected under copyright law. So if someone copies your podcast art, that's a situation you might want to handle. Intro music. Again, it's only an issue if you own that music or if you licensed it under an exclusive license. Exclusive license just means you're supposed to be the only one with permission to use that specific piece of music. And again, it might be an issue for the licensor, the person that you got the music, or the company that you got the music from, maybe not so much the podcast. So I hope that helps you to understand some options and some things to ask yourself when you are a victim of podcast copying. And I will see you next time. Head to spear-ip.com/influencer for my latest free resource for bloggers, podcasters, and other content creators.